What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United are in action again, this time in the EFL Cup. Second round up against Grimsby Town at Blundell Park, 8 p.m. kickoff tomorrow, and manager is David Artell. So last season under David Artell they finished 9th in League 2 with 68 points. They won 20 games, drawn 8, lost 18. They scored 61 goals and conceded 67, so they've got a -6 goal difference, and they only finished 2 points away from the playoff positions. Chesterfield, they finished 7th with 70 points, so they were only 2 positions away from the playoffs, unfortunately for them. In terms of some recent forms for Grimsby so far this season, they're doing pretty well. They are unbeaten in the league. They've played 5, they've won 3 and drawn 2, and recently they are coming away with a 1-1 draw against Accrington Stanley away from home on the weekend. But before that they did beat Walsall, they beat Newport County as well at home, and then they drew against Harrogate Town 3-3, and then the first game of the season on the 2nd of August they actually won 3-0 to Crawley Town. So they are coming into this game with some decent victories under their belt. Like I said, they are unbeaten in League 2 so far. In terms of the league table where they are at in League 2, let me just get that up for you right now. In the league they are in, I think they're in 4th position. Yes, Grimsby are in 4th position. They have accumulated a total of 11 points. They are only 1 point behind Chesterfield and Crewe Alexandra, who are tied in first position with 12 points each. They are unbeaten in the league, like I mentioned before, and they are only a handful of sides who are unbeaten in the league, in League 2 so far this season. But yeah, in terms of the EFL Cup, in the first round, they got a home tie against Shrewsbury Town and on the 12th of August, and they won that game 3-1, and now they are up against United, of course, tomorrow. In terms of some team news for Grimsby, I'm not sure that they have anyone out, so I haven't got anyone of note here in terms of some absentees. But in terms of how I think they're gonna line up, this is how I think they're gonna line up. This is the same lineup that started against Accrington Stanley. So Pym in goal, of course, Warren, Rogers, McJanet and Staunton making up the back four. McEachran playing in that lone defensive midfield position. Then a midfield four of Amaluzor, Tori, Corey and Burns. And then up front you've got Cabia up front. So in terms of how they like to play, from the onset, when Artell came in, he emphasised a possession-based, attractive football style of play, aligned with the club's Grimsby way. But after early setbacks, the shift came more towards a more pragmatic, direct build-up, making use of the squad's strengths. This includes emphasising counter-attacking prompts and quick transitions when pressing opponents, supported by effective wing-back use and pressing coordination. Still valuing possession though, Artell highlighted the importance of ironing out quality possession play, though he remained unsatisfied with the inconsistency as well. So of course, like all sides, they're going to, in the final third, they're going to be utilising overlaps, underlaps and getting many players into the box as well. When midfielders and wingers always look to make runs into the box when the ball is in the final third, often getting 4 or 5 players into these areas to create overloads. In terms of the defending without possession, Artell has employed a range of formations depending on opponent and context. Sometimes it can be a 4-3-3 for at home, aiming to be expansive and proactive, but capable of transitioning into a more compact 4-1-4-1 formation or a 4-5-1 when necessary. Back 3 as well can be used effectively to shore things up defensively, reflecting tactical discipline. Artell likened their defensive structure with their win over Gillingham, and they like to be controlled without the ball, showcasing excellent shape and work rate. In terms of defensive record, despite some organisational gains, Grimsby did concede 67 goals last season in League 2, the second highest total among teams outside the relegation zone, and Artell acknowledged the midfield's role and overall unit cohesion needs to tighten to improve defensive resilience. So David Artell's tactical footprint at Grimsby Town is marked by adaptability and pragmatism. After trial and error early on, he found a more sustainable identity that combines flexible, organised defensive systems, pressing and physical renewal, balanced attacking strategies, mixing possession philosophies with direct, adaptable play. So in terms of the star man, I'm going to have to say is Jay's Kabia. Grimsby's number 9. He has scored 3 goals in 5 appearances in the league so far. So he's going to be dangerous in and around the box. So if Man United can keep him quiet, then we're going to have a good day tomorrow against Grimsby. So in terms of Manchester United, last game we are coming away with a disappointing 1-1 draw against Fulham. And, you know, I think the pressure is mounting on Ruben Amorim. And after the last season, how much of a bad kind of season that was, you know, it's been a disappointing start to the season in terms of results. Yes, we played well against Arsenal, but we didn't get anything from the game. And against Fulham, we had a good 10, maybe 15, 20 minutes to the start of the game, but that was it. Apart from that, the whole game was poor in my opinion. So in terms of Ruben Amorim, the pressure is mounting on him very much. You cannot have the record you have in the Premier League, spend over 200 million, bring an entirely new forward line and fail to get 3 points against Fulham. I think we had to win that game, and to get a good start to the season, we need some points on the board in the Premier League. And in terms of Ruben Amorim's record in the Premier League, it's not good whatsoever. 7 wins in 29 Premier League games is a sackable offence, of course. This is just my opinion, and these results simply cannot continue, and the pressure is on Ruben Amorim to deliver this season. And if these results continue, Ruben Amorim will most likely be out of a job in October or November. And yeah, if these results do continue, I don't see Ruben Amorim beyond Christmas. In this season, of course, there is absolutely no excuses anymore. He absolutely has to deliver. So yeah, disappointing performance and result against Fulham. I think the midfield was a problem. Too often than not, we were outnumbered against Fulham's midfield. Too often than not, it was a 2v3 in the centre of the pitch, whereby it was only Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro up against Fulham's midfield 3. And Owobi would sometimes go in as well and make a 3 or a 4 in midfield as well, and there we would be more outnumbered as well. In terms of the goal we conceded, it was a poor goal to give away. Dalot is left in a 2. Dalot first of all gives away the ball. He's trying to play out from the back, but he gives it away to a Fulham player. And then he's left in a 2v1 situation on the wing. Brandon Bumo is kind of slow to get him back to help him out. And then the gap between De Ligt and Shaw increases because De Ligt has to look after the centre forward. And then Shaw and I think Bruno Fernandes lets Emile Smith Rowe run free into the box. And then he's just there to tap it home to make it 1-1. So it's a poor goal to give away against Fulham. But like I said, we really didn't play too well to be coming away with 3 points anyway. So a draw was probably a fair result. But it's just as disappointing because of the goal that we conceded and our performance in general. And of course, we're Manchester United. You know, we need to be going away to the likes of Fulham and getting all 3 points. And unfortunately, it wasn't to be. But yeah, that's the Fulham game. We are coming away with a draw against Fulham and a loss against Arsenal, of course. So definitely league form has to improve. In terms of Manchester United's injuries, we are of course without Martinez and Mazraoui this game. Mazraoui, I think he lacks match fitness, and Martinez is still out injured. So in terms of my Manchester United starting 11, this is my preferred 11, not predicted. I'm not sure what Ruben Amorim is going to go for, but I have made quite a lot of changes to the starting 11. Obviously, Onana is in net for Bayinde. Then a back 3 of Fredrickson, Maguire and Heaven. A midfield 4 of Dalot, Ugarte, Mainu and Leon. Diego Leon making his first competitive appearance for Manchester United. Hopefully, I want to see how he gets on. And then in the inside 10 positions, I've gone with Mount and Fernandes. And then up front, I've gone Xerxes as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Sesko does get his first start for Manchester United. Personally, I would save him for the game against Burnley. I wanted him to start against Arsenal. I wanted him to start against Fulham, but he didn't. I don't necessarily want him to see starting against Grimsby because I think the front 3 that I have lined up here is enough to get the job done, and I want to save Sesko for that game against Burnley on the weekend. But yeah, that's my front 3. In terms of United star man, I'm going to say it's Bruno Fernandes again. Unfortunately, he missed the penalty against Fulham. You know, very uncharacteristic of Bruno Fernandes to be missing a penalty like that. Usually he puts them away. Hopefully he can put in a better performance that he against Grimsby, because I think against Arsenal he was outnumbered in the centre of the pitch alongside Casemiro, and that midfield issue needs to be addressed. I'm not sure if it is going to be addressed before the end of the transfer window, but it's definitely a problem. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes is our star man, creates the most chances for us, and we rely on him the most. And yeah, hopefully we see this starting 11. I want to see the likes of Xerxes, see how they get on. Wouldn't be too disappointed to see Sesko start as well. I wouldn't mind him starting as well. But like I said, I would prefer if Ruben Amorim saved him for that game against Burnley. So how do you beat Grimsby? They are in League 2, of course, so we are a superior side to them. And honestly, that starting 11 should be enough to get the job done. But how do you beat them? In terms of points, how to beat them, of course, start strong. Set the tone early. Getting an early goal can unsettle Grimsby's rhythm and energise the away fans. Aim for a fast tempo, direct play and clinical finishing in the early minutes. Unfortunately, we weren't able to finish our chances against Fulham in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. We had good kind of possession play. We had good chances, but unfortunately the likes of Cunha couldn't put away his chances. I think using squad depth smartly as well. I think rotating players in like Kobbie Mainoo, Ugarte and Mason Mount to inject energy and unpredictability as well. Integrate the likes of Andre Onana or Tom Heaton in goal for consistency as well. Opportunity to solidify the backline amid defensive concerns. And then exploit set pieces and physical advantage. Grimsby may be vulnerable on corners and free kicks. Utilise the height with the likes of Maguire and the likes of Xerxes as well, and Heaven and Fredrickson as well. Be wary of Grimsby's set piece threats like Jay's Cabai and Ivan Corey, and control midfield and tempo. So solid midfield with Mainoo Ugarte. Pressing can limit Grimsby's creativity. United should avoid getting isolated in probing attacks. Keep cohesive lines. And finally, finish the game efficiently as well. Shift focus on a defensive rhythm once ahead. Keep compact shape. Deny any chances. Avoid slips seen earlier this season, particularly in defence as well. I think if Grimsby 2 score before United, it could be a very, very annoying game for us and we could go out. Hopefully that isn't the case. And use substitutes wisely in the second half as well to preserve energy and shut down any threats. So in short, stay compact. We'll lure them forward as well. I think if Grimsby do want to play with us, we can lure them forward and then hit them on the break. Hit them with speed in the wide areas and attack the space in behind that they are going to leave behind. So yeah, that's how you beat Grimsby. In terms of my score prediction, I am going to go for a 3-0 Manchester United win. Hopefully we do come away with the win. I think it's really important that we do well in the Cups, especially because we're not in Europe this season. And I think obviously we are in the second round of the EFL Cup because we failed to qualify for any European competition. So we were drawn into the second round. And this will be the first time that the two sides have faced each other since 1948 as well. So hopefully tomorrow's a good day for us, and like I said, I want to be doing well in the cup competitions because we are out of Europe and I want to see us winning some silverware as well. But of course, that if we can do well in the league, then I can get away with not winning any silverware this season. And what I mean by doing well in the league is finishing in the top 6. Anyway, I'm going for 3-0 Manchester United win. Mount, Xerxes and Bruno to get the goals. And yeah, hopefully we do come away with the win. And yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this preview, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.